In this edition of In Conversation, we talk with Marlon Meza, U20 Belize national team player. Hi, Marlon. Thank you for coming on here. I really appreciate it. We're honored to have you on the interview. Obviously, a rising star, and we're very honored to have you on this interview and see how your career, continues to grow and the goals that you reach. Um, and I wanted to start this off by just letting you introduce yourself to the viewers and kind of tell how you started your career in football, and some of your goals and things like that. Just kind of introduce yourself and give a background.
Well, my name is Marlon Meza. Um, I come from Santa Elena town. My football journey started from a very young age, about 9 or 8 years old. That's when I joined my first like actual team, and from there I just decided and I told myself that this is what I want to do in the future, and that this is how I want to continue growing as a person and you know continue football because I know that football can take you places. Football can help you carry on your family and so forth. So, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And did you have growing up like a role model, like a Belizean player or anybody for that matter that you kind of looked up to and modeled your game after?
Well, I would say definitely my father. He is a football player as well. He is one of the best football players that I know.
Oh,
And,
nice.
just by seeing him play and seeing him do all those stuff, and I decided that that's what I want to do. And I just kind of followed what he was doing.
Great. Yeah. So following his footsteps and try to, even be better, right? But I didn't know that. So wow, your father was a great player.
Yeah.
So my next thing would be you currently play in Jamaica for a club. Is that correct?
Yeah. I currently play for an academy, Mount Pleasant.
Okay. So what is your goals as far as would you like to come back and play in the Premier League of Belize, or are you trying to go to Europe, or maybe an MLS club? Like, what is the goal after this academy? Like, as you get older and develop more and improve.
Well, definitely, I would like to go further and further my career in hopefully MLS or in Europe, because those are big places and you can like really make a future there.
Yeah.
So that's my goal.
Okay, yeah, and that was a thing too. Being U20 qualifiers, Concacaf just finishing, and you've had some great highlight goals. Everybody's seen them on local news and Concacaf posting and everything. What is that like being this young, this talented, and scoring for your home country on a national, international stage? Excuse me. What is that like? I mean, like.
Well, I'm really happy and proud of myself, and I know that my family are too, because I do it for them. I do it for my country. I do it for Belize. Um, yeah, just going out there and showing what I can do, show what I can contribute to the football world and for my country. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to play on the national team of Belize, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do so and showcase my talent.
Yeah, of course, and and obviously, you're one of the biggest stars, especially coming out of Belize. And what would be your message to the younger kids and younger generations that are? I mean, I know you're a young player yourself, but even the smaller kids that look up to you and see that they can, do something like you're doing, right, and be able to play internationally and stuff. Being born in Belize, and just with hard work ethic and things like that. What would be your message to them or advice?
My message would be, as much as you hear it, as much as you hear about hard work, that is what will get you places. Working hard every day, and another thing, never forget God, because let God be the center of your life always.
Amen. And yeah, so could you maybe take us through? I mean, you don't have to get into too specifics, but just kind of like, obviously, I'm sure you have practices with your club and everything. But what is kind of your routine like throughout the week as far as your personal training and practices? And also, do you balance like school and things like that as well? I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, my routine at the academy would be, we get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. We start training around 6:30 to 8 o'clock, and then we would like go back to our dorms, get ready for school at 9. School finishes at around 2:30, and 3:30 we're back out there on the training ground until around 5.
Okay, nice. And so, do you also have like a job outside of that? I know some players have a job and like their schedule is really, really tight. So I mean, do you have a job outside of that, or are you just having focusing on school and playing football?
Yeah, it's just school and football at the academy.
Okay, nice. And do you think? I mean, obviously, you're still young, and your career is just starting, right? And what would be some of the goals? I mean, I know obviously progressing and playing for better clubs and in countries and stuff like you said, the MLS and things like that. But what would be some of your goals, not only for the game, but also like outside of the game? What do you want to accomplish and maybe be able to come back to Belize after and then contribute to the community and things like that? What is kind of your overall goals and dreams? Like talking about maybe even 10 years down the line.
Well, definitely, I want to play on the biggest stage possible. Maybe one of the top 5 leagues in the world. That's my goal. That's where I want to go, and that's where I see myself in the future. Also, I want to, be somebody in this life,
Yeah.
especially through football, because I love football.
Yeah, and that's I mean, that's amazing and you're well on your way. Obviously, I think you got all the talent in the world to be able to accomplish those goals you set for yourself and beyond, right? And I think a lot of the people in Belize and internationally are seeing that like on the qualifiers, and on stages like that. So yeah, man, obviously the sky's the limit. Um and another question I would have would be, I know the national team means a lot to you. Do you think that Belize, after like this World Cup's going on, do you think after that building up to the next World Cup, do you think that they will get there and really improve in that next 4 years? And obviously, I'm sure you'll be on that squad.
Well, I definitely see development throughout the years. Playing for the national team because I've been on a few trips before, and
Oh no.
up to now, I see a lot of improvement. Belize has come a far way, and I honestly trust the process because these players are improving, and I can see that they want it. So definitely, it's possible that we can make a World Cup in the future.
Yeah, and I personally agree. With GSN covering, that's the whole thing is we want Belize football to grow and people to actually internationally even to be able to know about it and have a reliable source of news, scores, information, things like that. And did you have any questions for me and GSN and what we're trying to accomplish or anything?
What do you think about the Premier League?
Yeah, I think Belize is a great playing field and community, and I think it's growing. Owners have told me in the Premier League of Belize that they think in the next 2 to 3 years the league is going to double or triple in size, and I think the players are definitely talented enough. And a lot of new owners coming from America actually have invested and into these teams because they think they can find this talent in Belize and be able to develop them and ship them to Europe or MLS or even like Liga Mex and things like that. So I definitely think that the league is going in a very upward trajectory. And that's the whole thing. GSN, we went. I wanted to do a sports media company, and I found Belize and how I don't want to say undiscovered, but they were. I think there's so much potential that's untapped and people don't really know about outside of Belize. And I really want to show that to the world and help Belize grow. As the players and infrastructure and everything's growing, I want to be able to grow the media along with that to keep up with that. So that's really the goals of GSN and what I'm trying to do here.
That's great, man. That's great.
I appreciate it, and I think, what you're doing obviously for the sport and representing your country, is amazing. And the, inspiration you are to a lot of young players and things like that. So that's why I really appreciate you coming on here and doing this, and letting the viewers and people, in Belize hear you. And, they're already learning your name, right? And they're going to know, I think, a lot more in the future, right? Even more so.
Yeah.
You're already, famous, right? But I appreciate you coming on here. I think the sky's the limit. And that's all the questions I had. I don't know if you had any more questions, but that was it for me.
Well, I just have one more comment to put in. I would just like to say, thank you to all the Belizeans out there that support us and support me and my team because trust the process. We are growing and we are getting better. So thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming on here. I'm sure they'll be happy to hear that and hear from you and get an inside look. So I appreciate you coming on here. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate you doing this.
Thank you too, man.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.